Hey guys, welcome to week 3 of IDST 490 Senior Seminar. I hope you've braved the snowmageddon and braced yourself for the worst. I live in just on the outskirts of Boiling Springs on Lake Blaylock, and I think we got a quarter of an inch and a little bit of ice. So um, predicting the weather is clearly, as you've seen this weekend, an imperfect and inconcise science. Anyway, here's what we've got going on for week 3. We're making the thematic shift from leadership and psychology to leadership and business. And I've got three articles I want you to read. The first is called The Virtuous Manager. And here you're going to be introduced to these ideas of ethical and moral tenets in leadership. The second article is Connecting Leadership and Innovation. How is it that innovation and creativity and entrepreneurship are created and driven, and what are the things that drive those innovations? And it's leadership. So that's the focus of article number 2. And then coming back full circle to this whole issue of business ethics, the third article is about leadership, and the title is Business Ethics, but ethics is ethics. It doesn't matter if it's ethics in business, ethics in medicine, ethics in education, ethics in psychology or sociology. It's doing things that are virtuous and good and morally correct, right? And doing the right thing. And this article poses a very interesting question about the ethical tenets and foundation in leadership, and that is, does it really matter? So read those 3 articles, journal them. I have another discussion board for you. By the way, the discussion board responses and the reading journal responses are really good. I want you to keep the work up, but also I want you to be mindful. There's this psychological event, phenomenon, maybe you would call it, called response fatigue, where when respondents, you, are responding to the same types of prompts, like write a weekly reflection on what you've read, or respond to this discussion prompt in a discussion board. As you do that over time, that is repeated measures, doing those things a number of times, your responses get briefer and less insightful and less meaningful. Please try to avoid falling into the response fatigue. So your reading journal, your discussion board, and then I have a video for you this week. I really liked it, and basically the video is addressing this one particular question. Why is it that just simply having vision is not enough to be a leader? Oftentimes when we look at leadership, these are individuals that say, I have this great vision I'm trying to enact, and I'm following this wonderful mental model, this plan I've developed. And why is that not enough to be a great leader? So buckle up. Got work to do this week. Hang in there. But despite the fact it's biting cold and the wind is out there and it's a little bit slippery and there's a little bit of precipitation on the ground, get outside if you can. And if you can't get outside, I saw a really interesting news story this week about burping houses and apartments. And here's the idea, that just for a brief period of time, maybe 5-7 minutes, open up all the doors, open up all the windows in your domicile, whether you live in an apartment or a house or wherever you find yourself, a dorm room. Open up all those windows, even though it's freezing cold, just for a few minutes to let fresh air in. Because I didn't really realize this, but when we're in confined spaces, there's like a lot of particulate matter that floats around, is then pushed around in our air from our HVAC or heating and air conditioning. And even if you have, like we have, negative ion generators in the house that get rid of most of that particulate matter and take any kind of biological stuff, germs out of the air. But still, the idea of burping your space and getting in there. If you can't get outside and get fresh air, at least burp your residence. And I hope you have a really great week. I know that this weekend has been trying, and there's been a lot of guesswork on, hey, which way is the weather going to go? And we were never really quite sure, but and it does create anxiety. our house was a little bit anxious. We were worried. I took all these preventive measures to make sure that if we had major ice, major snow, that it wouldn't impact my air conditioner or our hot tub in the backyard or other things we got, the ice and snow on the driveway, or even making sure that I had plenty of gasoline to run my generator. But anyway, hang in there. Oh, by the way, as the week goes on, if you got questions, concerns, you just need somebody to talk to and an ear to bend, I'm here for you. And keep it up. You guys are doing great work.